Hello everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. Now on today's tutorial we're going to be making this lovely card. I've been inspired by Christina Werner and I will put the link down below so you can watch her video. It's similar to her card. She used a paintbrush to make her gold. I've used a stamp, so let's show you the stamp sets. Okay, the first one is Balloon Adventures, so this is where I've taken this large bold sentiment here. This is one of my favourites. This is Retiring, so this is a While Stocks Last. And I've also used Timeless Textures as well, so I've used this this like wood grain one here. So let's get on with making our card. Okay, so I'm going to be making the card from scratch and I'll give you all the measurements. Now this is a Whisper White piece of cardstock. It's a Whisper White thick. And it's a standard UK or international sized A4, and we're going to be cutting it in half, and I'll be cutting it at 4 1/4, and then I shall be scoring it at 5 7/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to be using my trimmer to get that all done. And just grab my bone folder. Okay, so that's our card base done. And now moving on to our black piece of card, and I've got a slither of this Whisper White here, and that measures just under 1/2 an inch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with our embossing buddy because we're going to be doing some gold heat embossing first. Now, because this is a black piece of cardstock, I'm going to put it on very lightly, as it can be quite difficult to get the white back off again after you've put it on. So I may have trouble with that patch there, but I'll do my best to get that off. So I've got my stamps mounted already. I'm use Versamark watermark ink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this all over in different areas. And then for the top section I'm going to turn it over because it has this arch at the top, just to get rid of the hard edge at the top here. There we go. Now I'm going to grab our gold embossing powder. Just put the lid back on there. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab my heat gun and I'm going to preheat that and get it nice and hot. Okay, so I'm all preheated, so clear the decks. So for the next bit it needs to be cooled down, so I'm just going to leave that for about 30 seconds to a minute just to cool down, and then we can do our next stage. Okay, so we're pretty much cooled down now to the touch, that's okay, and I'm going to use another little dab there of the embossing buddy. Okay, I've got my sentiment mounted already, and back with the Versamark. Oops. If that happens, just add a bit of embossing just so that it doesn't stick, and if I do get any on there and it shows up, then you can just wipe it off with a dry paintbrush, so don't worry about that. all inked up again. I do need to clean my block. I had a foam stamp stuck to it and didn't get all of it off, so I'm going to have to give that a scrub. Okay, out with our white embossing powder. Okay, it's not showing up too much at the moment, but it will do once we start with our heat gun. Okay, so I'm going to get the heat gun heated really hot again this time, because we want minimal amount of time that it's actually on the card, because we've already got a layer there of heat embossing already, so I don't really want to affect the bottom layer too much, so I just really want to affect the top layer. So it's pretty hot from our last blast, so okay, there we go. We can start assembling our card now. So I'm just going to set that aside there just to cool down very slightly. It won't take long. Okay, just grab our card. I'm going to use some Tombow. And then after the card is fully dried, as in, not dried, but as in cooled down, I'm going to try and wipe off any of the excess embossing buddy powder. Okay, so I want this side to be the front of my card. This side's slightly longer, so that's going to be my front. It'll be easier to open the card from that angle. Okay, stick that down. I'm just going to use my sleeve here just to wipe away at the black, just to get rid of the white powders. Okay, so we're almost done now. Going to add some rhinestones. Okay, I'm going to use a mixture here of the large ones, and if you are, actually you can see there is a sticky dot on there, but they're not always that strong, so if you do actually want these to not fall off, I would use a dab of Tombow just to keep them in place. So I'm going to grab my card here. I like where I put my placements. I'm not too good at placing. Whenever I put them down, I think, oh, that doesn't look right, but I'm getting better, so I'm going to copy what I've done here. If you have sequins would work really well as well. Got a really small one here, so you could chop these up. These are all joined together by one long line of adhesive, but you can separate that adhesive by just snipping them across like that. Otherwise you will get like a long line of them. See, they're all stuck together. There we go. And this is so indispensable as well. This is a piercing tool. I don't actually use it for piercing. I use it for picking up. Okay, and our last one. There we go. That's our card for today. Hope you go ahead and make one yourself. Oh no, we're not done. Oh, silly me. Right, we forgot to put our sentiment. Actually, I think I quite like it without the sentiment, but I'll do the sentiment anyway. Okay, so I have chosen the happy birthday just from here. Okay, I'm using VersaFine. I always manage to get myself there. Quick blast of heat. Okay, so we're going to be making this into a banner. There we go, and we're going to use some dimensionals as well. Right, which one shall I use? I'll see if this one fits. It might be a bit tall, but we'll give it a go. Oh, perfect. Okay, let's just move some of these down actually. There we go. Okay, so we're definitely finished now. So thank you for joining me today. All the details will be on my blog and the link will be down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and I'll see you next time.